just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, I don't wanna push you farther away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for us? I wanna be together, be together. Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters. I got feelings about you. Oh yeah, butterflies every time I'm with you. Oh yeah, I don't wanna push you farther away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, I don't wanna push you farther away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for us? I wanna be together, be together. Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters. Are you down for love? Are you up for us? I wanna be together, I wanna be together. Babe, I want your love, your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters.
No matter what we go through, love will still remain. So do what you want, baby. You and me in the sun. Know that I still be here when the day is done. So come a little bit closer, and I'll tell you what I feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Yes, I'm gonna wait on you. No one's gonna love you like I do. So glad that I found you. You're the missing piece, the last piece of the puzzle. I'm finally at ease. So when times are rough and the promises we make just seem so hollow and weak, and we're about to break, we have to remind ourselves, 'cause we know how we feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Ain't over till it's over. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna love it till it's gone. You know I'm gonna wait on you. And the weight that's on your shoulder, I'm gonna carry that for you. So here
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
The day is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. We are at a turning point in this country, an inflection point, where the powers that be can choose to follow the path of white supremacy, ignorance, and bigotry, the path that leads us to the Delta variant of COVID-19 and the incessant refusal to do something as simple as wearing a mask, or the path before you where the people who have been advocating on behalf of Black lives are screaming to the top of our lungs that all of everything that we do is so that humanity can proceed. America has a choice to make, but first, on the clock with Georgia Ford.
Despite the fact that so many Americans are doing everything that they can to get back to normal, the pandemic is not over. And meanwhile, as numbers are continuing to increase across more than a dozen states in the U.S., we're still hearing from Republican lawmakers who refuse to get vaccinated. And not only do they refuse to get vaccinated, but in ways they're encouraging their own base to not get vaccinated either. And so what does that mean for our country? And what does that mean for millions of people around the globe who simply want to get back to the way things used to be? And many of us have accepted that we probably won't. I want you guys to hear from Byron Donalds. He's a lawmaker in Florida, and he had some pretty strong views when he was interviewed about getting vaccinated on CNN. Take a listen.
And an aspect of vaccine hesitancy is politics, especially in your state. Don't Fauci, Florida. We all know that was about. Do you feel responsible for spreading a message where I'm not going to take it because I don't care what Biden wants? Byron Donald's not going to take it because he doesn't care what Biden wants. You think that's a good message for people to hear?
Well, the first thing is my message was never about Joe Biden. The message is about me and my own personal health.
I'm not getting vaccinated because I don't want to. Hold on, no. I want to read your words. I want to read your words. Byron, I know you don't get to cut me off. It's my show. But just listen. It has nothing to do with what Joe Biden wants. It has nothing to do with what Joe Biden wants. Funny, I never brought him up when I was deciding whether or not to get vaccinated. Why did you?
A reporter asked me on a news show, and I said it has nothing to do with what he wants. I chose not to get vaccinated because I chose not to get vaccinated. I already had COVID-19 once. I'm 42 years old. I'm in very good health. I actually get checkups regularly and do all those things. That's a personal decision from myself. Members of my family, my wife, my 3 kids, they've all had COVID. They're not getting vaccinated. They're all healthy. That is a decision they've chosen to make.
You ask your doctor?
For everybody to understand is this. Hold on. Here's the key thing you need to understand. If people in the United States are concerned about contracting and being hospitalized and dying, of course, from COVID-19, please go get vaccinated. I will never tell you not to get vaccinated. What I'm saying is I made a decision not to get vaccinated. And it doesn't matter if it's you or Joe Biden or anybody else that's going to stress or want.
So here we have a Republican lawmaker, Ben, and I'd love your thoughts on this because ultimately, yes, we all have a choice on whether or not we want to get vaccinated. And his family has that choice also. But as a lawmaker, as a politician, you not only represent yourself and your family, but you represent your constituents. And so to some degree, a lot of people feel that this type of commentary is irresponsible when we are a nation that's failed to get herd immunity.
Yeah, I'm looking at this brother, Byron Donald is his name, and I'm fascinated with this faction of the Black community that has to be ignoring the disproportionate amount of Black people that are dying from COVID-19. That's number one, because, not to say that COVID-19 has specifically targeted Black people because we're Black, but we're disproportionately affected by it because of pre-existing conditions that are rooted in our economic condition in this country, right? There's plenty of ways for us to understand what's going on, but what I don't understand is how this brother could look in the face of everything that's happening in the Black community and decide that the best way he should be represented on the international stage is by going on national television and saying that he's more concerned about his personal liberties than getting the vaccine.
Absolutely. And Brother Mac, I understand, is joining us now as well. What is your take on this? Because I know that there have been some concerns with this new variant. There's also a lot of concerns about our population that is not old enough to get vaccinated. And so even though his family, and he went on in this interview to say that his family already had COVID, so they have immunity from it that way. But it doesn't prevent them from passing it on to other people, like children who have not been vaccinated and maybe haven't been exposed to the virus yet.
Well, Georgia, first of all, he is a public servant. So he just stood there and said, I'm doing what's in my best interest. So he negated his responsibility as a public servant to now spread a message to the rest of America of what's in the best interest. He only talked about what was best for him. And that is part of the problem, that he really negated his role as a public servant. But more importantly, you could clearly hear him carry the Republican line. And we have to go back, if you don't mind, just give me a moment to go back and let us all not forget where that line within the Republican Party started with. If you go back to 2018, May of 2018, what was the first thing that the head of the Republican Party did? Trump. He disbanded the White House response team. January 22nd, 2020, he said to the American public, we have this thing under control. Then 2 days later, he praised China. And then we ultimately know what Trump's rhetoric was about China. Then on February 10th, 2020, he said, I think the virus is going to be fine. February 24th, he said, the coronavirus is very much under control. And then 2 days later, February 26, 2020, Trump said this. 15, he was talking about the fact that America only had 15 cases. He said, within a couple of days, this is going to be down to 0. So the entire Republican Party under Trump started this anti-vaccination, anti-mask. Basically, the coronavirus is nothing more than an exaggerated flu. We got this under control. And now that this thing has gone rampant and killed so many people and has a way of putting our country in the position we are, now we're watching the Republican Party change their narrative now to say, well, that's a personal choice that you have to make. If you don't make it, that blood is not on our hands. Those deaths are not on our hands. You personally made that. And this is why when you take a look at Representative Donald, what he said, it's not about you and your family. You are a public servant. You should be given a message that is in the best interest of all Americans. And that's what he negated.
That's it.
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that it's unfortunate we're seeing in his answer about his health, in his answer about the people he serves and their health, he had the nerve to mention Biden. What does President Biden have to do with your choice to get vaccinated, your family's choice to get vaccinated, or anyone who you represent and their choice to get vaccinated? It has nothing to do. And so that is the one thing that I do think was stellar about this interview. The fact that got pointed out. But what it does for me, Ben and Brother Mac, is it makes me really think about how divided our politicians are. So much so that we could be in the midst of a public health crisis, a pandemic.
Yes.
And these folks are holding so tightly onto their party that they don't care how many people are dying from this disease. And so it's unfortunate that here, instead of thinking about the greater good, the health of those that he represents, he's thinking about his party.
Right. And Georgia, and I'm glad you framed it exactly like that, because he clearly isn't thinking about his family. I don't care what this brother says, because to me, I'm not comfortable with the sentence, my wife and kids got COVID. If there was anything I could do to avoid it, like getting a vaccination or like wearing a mask or like sheltering in place and all the things that the Republican Party actively did to ensure that we spread it, that we went for herd immunity when we could have just waited for the vaccine, right? That's the underlying strategy, was that conservatives were absolutely more concerned with people being forced to go out to work, forced to go out and to consume. They were more interested in people going to the bar. They were more concerned with the revenue, the quarterly profit margins of clubs and bars and their personal interests than they were human life. So to hear this brother talk about, and you can put him back on the screen because I want to make sure everybody can see his face. He's talking about what's in the best interest of his family. No, he's talking about what's in the best interest of his party, not his family, because he would not have even fixed his mouth to say that and then say that he's not going to get vaccinated, because why would you want your children to go through this twice, brother?
You know, and the other thing too, you know, Georgia, the way that you framed it is absolutely correct. Because see, there are certain issues in this country that clearly a division of the party, I can accept it. Are you pro-life or are you pro-choice? Personal, I get that. But we're talking about a situation of a pandemic, as you so aptly stated, a pandemic that it doesn't care about your race. It doesn't care about your religion. It doesn't care about your politics. And if ever there's a time to come together in dealing with this pandemic, now is the time to come together. But it is clear what the Republicans don't, what they absolutely understand is, based on the timeline that we just went through from their party, from the head of their party, that they ignored this situation and allowed this pandemic to get completely out of control. And so now that you have a Democratic president coming in and has now encouraged people to get vaccinated, now you begin to see this. It now becomes about who is going to get credit, because whoever can, because clearly Trump's handling of the pandemic was devastating to his reelection efforts. And now if you bring Biden in, or any other Democrat for that matter, forget who the president is, but if you bring a Democrat in and now that person is responsible for getting something that we have never seen in our lifetime, have not seen in 100 years, to affect not only this country, but the world. But that person showed leadership in pulling this under control and saving the lives of all Americans. Then the message is loudly clear that here is a president that is about America versus one that is about his party. And clearly this guy only cares about carrying that Republican line and not doing anything that would help not only this country. He's thinking about what is it going to look like for Biden if Biden was able to now, through his efforts, through his leadership, control this pandemic.
You know, and Byron Donalds reminds me about just how dangerous the current state of the Republican Party is. On January 6th, they showed us they don't care about democracy.
That's right.
And today, what they continue to show us is that they don't care about your life, my life, their children's life, my children's life. What they care about is their party. And outside of that, I continue to question, outside of just the Republican Party. They're showing us that they don't care about just basic human life, the general health of our population. I'm left to ask myself, what else? What do they really care about? What are their core values? Because it's not founded on democracy and it's not founded on the greater good of society.
That's it.
So what is it that they care about? What is it that's driving the choices that they're making collectively? Because they're moving together as a unit. We've seen just a few break out, right? But for the most part, we're hearing the same rhetoric from these Republican lawmakers. And to me, it's very dangerous because they showed us on January 6th what they're capable of.
Well, they're also showing you in the Congress now, and in particular with this brother. You should also take a look at his voting records, because one of the things he did was he also voted no against the George Floyd bill. Right. I'm sure he's one who, and he also believes that Trump won the election, that there was so much voter fraud that Trump won the election. And thus, I would dare say that if you probably asked him about January 6th, it wasn't an insurrection. So, here's a guy who has our skin, but clearly ain't our kin.
Yeah. And Sister Ford, Brother Mac, you all are so accurate with this. Here's the troubling thing about this scenario is the fact that you never play a game of chicken with someone who has no sense of self-preservation. You never get into an argument with someone who has no regard for their own life, let alone your life. But you most certainly don't stay in a protracted political fight with a political party that has no regard for the life of their own children. Sandy Hook, Columbine, COVID-19. We're dealing with a level of sociopathy that will not only see their children die. Well, if we know that they will stand by and watch their children die, what do you think they'll do with Black people?
Not question.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, that's all that we have time for. We are on the clock, but stick around for more on the Benjamin Dixon Show.
Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just so deep. Trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me, yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to
Let me go for one day. Let me lose myself again. Give me something for the pain. Always trying to pretend that I'm not living just a lie. Broken heart and shattered lives. Let me go for one day. Let me lose myself. Oh, I knew how this would end. Oh, I knew that it would die. That we would come to this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, non-gender conforming individuals. We are working out, obviously, a couple of technical difficulties here, but we're going to keep it going. I want to move to the story out of Alabama. George is with us, and Brother Mac is going to join us momentarily. I want to move to a story out of Alabama that we covered last week, where an Alabama city council member was caught using the N-word for whatever justification that particular member used the N-word. He feels justified in his mind. We covered it last week, and we don't need to get the audio again, but if you need to find the audio, you can just search it for yourself. Alabama council member uses N-word, and it will come right up. We're not going to play that clip again here, but that's the context of the conversation. That said, the Republican governor of Alabama chimed in, Kay Ivey, and this is what she had to say. Let's take a listen into her.
There's a city councilman in Tarrant who used the N-word during a council meeting. There's calls for him to resign from office. What are your thoughts? Do you think he should resign for using that word?
That's between him and his constituents.
So at the end of the day, she says that's between him and his constituents. I have a problem with that because what he said was not just said to his constituents. What he said was said to all of America. But more importantly, even if it was between him and his constituents, we have a fundamental problem if his constituents don't see a problem with this. There's so many things to talk about this. George, Sister Ford, and then Brother Mac.
Are his constituents not her constituents? And what we've seen here in Minnesota, we've seen the governor use his political power to ask lawmakers to resign, to step down. We saw that happen with Representative John Thompson, who we talked about a few weeks ago. So she could absolutely use her political capital and her power to denounce this type of hatred showing up in city council meetings in a city in which she represents. And so she has the authority to speak on that. And I think that it shows that she is complicit. And that's what we mean. Let's be clear. When Black folks say that being complicit is being violent, that silence is violence, she is basically standing aside and saying that his behavior during a city council meeting is okay, that she will tolerate it, right? There should be a zero tolerance for that type of conduct in general, but especially during a city council meeting. You know, it's one thing if you're behaving that way on your own private property, which obviously we don't condone, but showing up to a city council meeting and behaving that way is another level. And so I'm very disappointed that she did not denounce his behavior, that she did not call for his resignation. I think that it shows that she's complicit. And at this point, we need to be asking her to resign.
You know, Sister Ford, and when you talk about silence, and given that America loves to quote Dr. King, just remember what Dr. King said. There comes a time when a man's silence is criminal. And clearly, in the case of the governor, her silence is criminal. But the reason why this story particularly resonates with me is because when I served as the chief servant president of the Seattle King County NAACP, I had a very similar case, and it involved a teacher by the name of Brian Emanuel. And in this particular case, students were calling an assignment gay, right? So he took the student out to the hall, and the student that he took into the hall was the son of my right-hand man within the NAACP. So I'm not getting the story secondhand. I got the story firsthand. And asked the student about using the word. And the student said, look, this has nothing to do with sexuality or anything like that. It's just a word that we use. So he brings the student back into the classroom and says in front of the entire class, where I guess the N can come, except he didn't say N. He said, I guess the N can come back in. And it was at that point, everything erupted. So we had a similar situation where now people, when the word got to me, oh, it was an absolute zero tolerance. I'm calling for his absolute ousting of it. And now I have members of the Black community who were saying to me, but Carl, he used to work at Microsoft and he came in the inner city to help teach kids. I said, I tell you what, go to his defense, stand right in front of him. And I promise you, with everything in me, you'll be the first one to drop before I get to him, because we shall get to him. And I made an edict that he would no longer teach in that school district. And to that point, he no longer taught in that school district, not while I was in the position of chief servant of the NAACP. So we have to take an absolute zero tolerance on this level. And I wouldn't be looking for the governor or anybody else to handle that situation. The Black community, and in particular, an organization of which I'm a life member, the NAACP, we need to be on the front line of making sure that he's out, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason that is so accurate, Brother Mac, is because I don't care. Like we've had this ongoing conversation on each of the shows, on the clock, like it or not, Benjamin Dixon show, the difference between impact versus intent.
Yes.
And because we've seen so many occasions where people excuse everything because they say their intent. Well, consider for a moment the impact of what you said. And then perhaps before you say it, Sister Ford, why would he not take into consideration his own self-preservation? But he's so confident. And his name was Councilman John Bryant. He's better known as Tommy Bryant. Tommy Bryant of Tarrant, Alabama, a Tarrant City councilman. He was so confident in his position that he felt like he had the right to use the N-word and not expect to be held accountable for the impact, regardless of his intentions. Sister Ford.
You know, I think that it is this type of boldness that we are seeing resurface all across the country, and that is contributing to why we're so polarized. But it breaks my heart that you have people inside of their homes that are willing to pass down the hatred that they have for Black people, right? People are at home teaching their children how to hate Black people. And we have to teach our children how to protect themselves when they go to school, when they go to work, you know. But you would think that when you are appointed by the people, and so you're not just representing white people, you're representing all people. Your colleagues are Black also. You know, you would think that you would be able to conduct yourself in a professional manner, but your hatred is that deep. Your hatred is that overbearing that you have no regard to even show up professionally anymore. And you're so confident in the other people who are in positions. I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Bryant had a conversation with the governor already and knew where she stood and knew that she would be complicit. Okay, this stuff is not surprising. And there's so many dog whistles that happen right in front of our own faces. You know, there's so much gaslighting that happens when Black women. I bet you that those city councilors have tried to blow the whistle on Tommy Bryant's behavior before this happened. I promise you that mayor is not surprised, because Tommy Bryant started gunning for the mayor afterwards, saying that he was only reciting something he heard the mayor say. And the mayor is Black. And so I think that this is very telling of what happens in small rural communities all across this country, is that you still have white men who have their robes hanging at home and who think that they can show up to work with that mentality.
Right.
And it is 2021. And let me tell you, when leadership shifts, and when you see this next generation of Black leaders start to take these positions, they're not going for it. And so the KKK better figure out, when they can start burning them robes. Otherwise, I know some young folks who will burn them for them.
Well, the other thing I want to continuously remind us of, we shouldn't look for them in the sheets. Look for them in the suits. And see, even when we talk about complicity, it's a couple of things I want to make on this point. Every person in that room should have held him accountable. All of them are just as complicit. And if there was a brother in the room, trust and believe, had I just been at that meeting, that brother would have seriously gotten the business. Make no mistake about that. Please make zero mistake about that. Second of all, think about the governor. We just watched that sister yesterday, right? She was the same one who said that those who don't take the vaccine are is the pain that they're going to suffer from is self-inflicted. She's the same one who poo-pooed that away. So we should not be at all surprised. We should continue to track their history. So now, I've only listened to this woman twice. And the two things I've heard is that if you don't take the vaccine, that's a self-inflicted pain. And she's a member of the Republican Party.
That's right.
This woman now say, I have no problem. That's between he and his constituents. So now she's complicit. She's a member of the Republican Party. So just remember what her track record is. History is recording her.
That's it. That's absolutely right. I want to shift to Atlanta, Georgia. And I have to preface this by saying the video you're getting ready to watch is triggering. It is very short. It is 5 seconds long. We are going to allow it to repeat only 2 times, David. I thought about that third time. The third time might be too much. But because it is short, we're going to let it play twice. And it is footage that was captured or shared, rather, on Twitter by Michael Seaton. He is a reporter for a local television station, WSB-TV. And it is footage of an Atlanta police officer kicking a black Atlanta police officer kicking a black woman in the face while she is on the ground, handcuffed. I have more details as far as the investigation and the update, but first, let's take a look at the video. David, only let it play twice. Trigger warning. It is difficult to watch. Take a look. All right, that's it is. Let me just give you the update before I say anything about it. Let me give you the update as reported by Michael Seidon on Twitter. The Atlanta police and this is a tweet from Michael Seidon, the Atlanta police just issued the following statement on July 26, 2021. Chief Bryant and the commanders within the Atlanta Police Department became aware of a video posted on social media showing an Atlanta police sergeant kicking a woman in her head. Upon reviewing the video, the actions of the sergeant appeared to be unacceptable, and we are also concerned with the apparent lack of reaction from another officer present during the incident. The decision was made immediately to relieve the sergeant and officer from duty and place the sergeant on unpaid suspension. The Atlanta Police Department's Office of Professional Standards was directed to open an investigation into the action of all employees on scene, and their investigation is to be expedited. The actions of those in the video appear to fall outside of our standards and training. However, there's always the however. Don't believe your lying eyes. It is important for the Office of Professional Standards to conduct a thorough investigation to determine the facts surrounding this incident. So much in that video, Sister Ford.
This is, again, why we continue to talk about police accountability, because we are not safe. When we leave our homes in black bodies, we are not safe. Now, granted, the sister made it out alive, but there is never a reason why peace officers, those who take an oath to protect and serve, should have you handcuffed laying on the ground on your stomach and you be kicked in your face. She's not, what can she do? She can't shoot them. She's defenseless. And here you have what also appears to be a black officer with no regard for Black life. So while people have largely tried to make the police accountability issue a Black thing and a white thing, it has always been a right thing and a wrong thing.
That's it.
This is not right. This type of conduct should not be tolerated. And while they're on leave, on paid leave, they need to be fired. Because as long as we allow officers to abuse their power, to use their badge as, a shield to go out and treat people any old kind of way and get away with it, they're going to continue to do that. And so we need police chiefs all across this country to start putting their foot down, especially when they know that this type of training is not what is approved. So if you're not approving this training and you have, these officers who are out here in our communities abusing people, how do you stand for that?
Yeah.
And let me say this, Brother Ben, when you read the statement, the narrative that they put out is, it appears to be troublesome. It appears to be. See, those words bother me. So it's a lot of things about this particular situation that bothers me. George, first and foremost, as you said, a black guy. This is a black thug. And please remember, look up the quintessential definition of a thug. It is a violent person. Now, in this particular situation, anybody takes issue with the definition, the adjective that I'm using to describe this thug, simply look up the word. And now compare that to what we're watching. A woman handcuffed down on her stomach and you kick her in the face. That is a violent behavior, one that is quintessential to the meaning of the word thug. Now, when we talked about complicity, look at the woman standing there. Look at everybody else who sat right there. Here is another woman who can't even empathize with the fact that he just, a grown man, a grown thug, just kicked another woman in the face. And she sat right there and allowed it, which takes me back to a core belief of those in the military academies. I will not lie, steal, or cheat, nor tolerate those among us who do. That is the difference of what happens in law enforcement, is that they become complicit. Race, humanity means nothing in comparison to the blue Kool-Aid that they drink. That Kool-Aid that says, under every situation, I don't care how horrible it is, I will protect my blue-blooded brethren. And in this case, all thugs. So that's why I say, not only can the word thug be to an individual, but to an organization.
That's
and
right.
This is why when they come and say it's only a few bad apples. Well, in this particular case, is the woman who sat there in uniform, is that thug? Is she a good apple? She's rotten too.
That's it.
The police chief, when he put out his narrative, it appeared to be, you're rotten too. That punishment, that judgment should have been swift. Not only should he have been terminated, but then criminal charges ought to be filed against him.
That's it.
In a hurry.
That was my question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother May.
No, that's it.
That was my question on Twitter last night, was why is this man not arrested? We clearly have video evidence of an assault.
Yes.
It reminded me of the time that I was, Brother Mac, as you were telling us a story of the incident with the NAACP with the teacher in the On the Clock segment. You reminded me of my time as a teacher, and I realized in my time as a teacher that that it was best for me to no longer be a teacher. And one of the reasons why I knew it was no longer time for me to be a teacher is because I looked out the window of my classroom one day and I saw a school resource officer handling a young black kid, handcuffed, and smacked him. I just because I have no idea how that internal investigation went. It was Schools for the Future Academy in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to the police station because I couldn't stand there and see how another black man, I don't care if he was white, but it was insult to injury that a black man would slap a young black man in the face while he was handcuffed with complete disregard for everything that we know about what this system does to black people. And here we have in this same video, this same scenario with a black officer with no regard, Georgia, for everything that black women have gone through in the system. Not only that, he adds to it the greatest insult of it all.
Yes.
Short of killing her.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing for me, Ben, is that's the part, right? So in our community, we still have empathy for our people. We have the wherewithal to recognize that this is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. But the only time that dominant society taps in is when it's caught on camera and there's been a killing, right? But we need to pay attention to when it's not at the expense of someone's life. We need to pay attention when we're seeing this total disregard for life, but the sister still gets the ability to walk up and go back to her family, right? We need to make this an urgent issue before the next George Floyd. We need to figure out what solutions and what systems can be put in place, what laws need to be changed, what reform, all of the same questions that everybody was asking when they were outraged after they saw George Floyd killed last year. They need to be asking those questions now. And the bigger question is how come that wasn't enough? Why are we still sitting here having this conversation where we can see in broad daylight that a huge officer, that's a big guy, right? That's a big guy, just blatantly kicks a woman in her face in broad daylight. And he knows that he's going to get away with it because of the culture and the code of conduct that has been allowed to permeate for so long, pretty much since its inception. When you go back and you look at what the system of policing was founded on, it is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And so, again, I can't help but reiterate, this is why I have continued to make police accountability one of my primary areas of coverage, because you won't see this being a top story on national news outlets like you did when George Floyd was killed. But the root issue is the same. It's police accountability. And so we have an opportunity to course correct. We have an opportunity to look at this unfortunate and tragic situation where this sister was assaulted and say, we still have a problem with policing in America. What are we going to do about it? We have an opportunity to course correct before we lose another life. And for people to realize, again, that this isn't a white thing or a black thing like people have always tried to make it. It's a right and a wrong thing. It's not right for police who take an oath to protect and serve to be out here in the streets assaulting us and killing us.
Come on. And see, Sister Georgia, this is what, and before I get to that point, Ben, where did you say this situation took place?
This was Atlanta, Georgia, ATL.
And if I'm not mistaken, we have an honorable mayor there.
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
And what was Sister Bottoms' reaction or statement regarding this video? Or
I have yet to see one. I will do a search this real quick, but as of yet, I haven't seen one.
And so, you know, so again, that's another point that I certainly want to look at. And nobody needs to question that sister's commitment to the community. But clearly, we need to hear those voices ring out from the highest level of leadership, especially in Atlanta, about this thug. And I will not refer to him as an officer because he is that. All of them that were there are thugs. But when we talk about this culture, this is where we need to focus so much on that. Because again, think about why we put people of color in law enforcement. For the very reason, Sister Ford, that you were talking about, that since its inception, this has been a racist gang of legalized thugs committing their atrocities against our community and communities of color. But yet, in the George Floyd situation, if I'm not mistaken, there were people of color who were around and watched Chauvin do what he did. In this situation, we are watching people of color commit these atrocities against people of color. This speaks to how absolutely mind-controlling that blue Kool-Aid is that they drink. And that is where we need, because trust and believe, if it's about capitalism in this society, just imagine that every civil suit that's brought against a thug like this, a thug like Chauvin, instead of cities like Minneapolis or Atlanta, instead of us paying out those damages, imagine if those payments came from the police unions. Imagine if it came directly from them. I guarantee you they would begin to internally clean that system up, because that's where that has to be a part of this solution, is that they have to also self-correct.
That's it.
They refuse to do that. That blue Kool-Aid is so strong, and they're going to continue that. And again, because that situation is being committed against us time and time again, being the video that we watched yesterday where the cop planted the evidence. What
Yeah.
city was that? What city?
I can't recall off the top of my head. I have to get it.
So to your point, Sister Ford, in your coverage of police accountability, police misconduct, these thugs, these gangs, this ain't just germane to one section of the country, one city, just in the South. It permeates. This disease this is a pandemic that's been going on since its inception.
That was Caledonia. Go ahead, Sister Ford. The Caledonia.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dr. Mack, I'm glad that you brought up that incident that we talked about yesterday with planting evidence. And we also saw the case where an officer deleted evidence.
That's right.
And so when you really think about, okay, the country gets in a huge uproar and we're outraged when we see someone killed.
Yes.
But how does it escalate to that point? What are the small day-to-day things that police are doing, right, before we get there? Let's not wait until black blood is the on the ground for us to sit here and say something has to change. Look at the culture. They're showing us. We have all of this evidence. We have all of this evidence of all of these wrongdoings that lead up to them taking someone's life. And why do they think that they can murder someone? Because they can delete evidence, because they can plant evidence, because they can assault you. And guess what? No one's going to do nothing about it. You know, in the case of Philly, you have this officer who's charged with obstruction and who's charged with tampering of evidence. But guess what? There had to be uproar. There had to be a protest. People had to be outraged. Why is that not just the part of the process that when your cops do something wrong, when your officers do something wrong, that you hold them accountable? When you realize that you're going to be out here and you're going to be assaulting people, that you're automatically ejected from the force. We don't tolerate that here. But no, they allow it. And then it bubbles over. And then you have other officers who are standing there who are seeing that you can treat people this way on the street and you can get away with it. Just a little smack on the wrist. And then before you know it, what does that evolve into? Think about that, because even Brother Mac, you mentioned Chauvin and all the officers who were there who were complicit. Some of those officers were rookies and they were being trained in by Chauvin, who had been on the force for more than 20 years, who had got slapped on the wrist, slapped on the wrist, who was a part of, we've heard from specific research and we'll learn more through the DOJ investigation, 6 other murders. And he was still on the force. So you guys are going to allow these killer cops to sit here? I feel like they're basically grooming them to do that. They're giving them a pass. You know, in the fundamental, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Period.
Or even if you go back to Eric Garner, the cop the thug that choked out Eric Garner had a distorted history of police misconduct within that organization. Now, if we begin to talk about this from a systemic standpoint, okay, not only do we see these thug cops, we're seeing the police chiefs who want to change the narrative and try to soften this up. We want to watch media who doesn't want to cover these situations. We're seeing prosecutors, even the guy we just had on, the brother we just had on from Florida, Donald.
Byron Donald.
Donald. See, he voted against the George Floyd Act. Why? Because the one thing that gives these thugs this sense of power that I'm untouchable is that concept of qualified immunity, which says I'm immune. I'm going to be safe, and regardless of what I do. So now you got it in the halls of Congress with this qualified immunity. Let's protect them. You got it sitting on the bench with judges. Let's protect them. You got it from prosecutors. Let's not charge them. You got it from within their culture. Let's drink the blue Kool-Aid. You got it from the guys on the streets. When the rookies come in, I'm going to train you on how you need to handle this business. And trust and believe, we have an entire system behind you that will protect you. And it's called qualified immunity.
Wow. Sister Georgia Ford, Brother Carl Mack, I appreciate you guys walking me through that video, because that video is disturbing and triggering, and there has to be justice done. And we're gonna you know what, I'm learning more and more. We're gonna keep our foot on their necks.
Yes.
Because if we don't, then we'll end up with another Chauvin with their knee on our necks.
And Brother Ben, I gotta say, what Sister Ford is, Sister Ford, what you keep saying is so powerful, that as long as we allow these situations to exist, that macro is going to come. And those macros can be avoided if we truly address these situations, what we consider small, but trust and believe. All you have to imagine is, what if that was your mama or your sister down there and he kicked her in the face? It ain't no micro issue. It is huge. That's
right.
And we need to deal with every one of these situations
accordingly.
Absolute venom on it.
Accordingly, we got to handle it accordingly. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna take a quick break. DJ Exclusive is in the house. He's gonna take us to a break because I need to breathe. We need to breathe. We need to breathe, because that video, we gotta also execute some self-care. So let's breathe for a moment. When we come back, like it or not, Rebecca Zora is gonna join us. DJ Exclusive, it is in your hands. We'll be back right after this.
Boom, good morning, people. It's your boy DJ Exclusive. I'm here on location in Florida, y'all. And I'm in love with it, but unfortunately I'm getting back on the road to go home today after the show. But good morning, y'all. Love y'all, mean it. Good to see everybody.
But every part of my body is telling me to run away from you. Come a little bit closer. Yeah. Come a little bit closer. Yeah. Crazy. It's been days, but you never change.
Okay,
What's love got to do with it?
Missed everybody, man. Want to thank everybody for y'all support, your words, everything. I appreciate y'all, man. We came down for a friend's birthday and enjoyed the hell out of it. Shout out, happy birthday, special happy birthday to my brother, my friend, Marquis said it was happy birthday, Q. We hope you enjoy your birthday. So have a good day at work. Love you. Good morning again, everybody. Make sure that you stay tuned. Like it or not, it's coming up next with Rebecca Zora, my sister, y'all, my brother Benjamin. Good morning, y'all.
You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah, in the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on.
Right, y'all are going ham in the chat. You know, just calm down, breathe. Woosah. Woosah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Dragon Ball Super Dope. Good morning. Alicia, Lily, B, Tiger, Tyler. Good morning, y'all. Lisa Noel, love you too. Good morning. Tractor Tasha, good morning. Laura Estrada, thank you for your super chat. Love and peace, family. This is a safe place. Absolutely, y'all. This is a safe place. Always remember that. You know, some people might have different verifying opinions. Always remember that. The opinions are their own. So make sure, you know, safe chat room, safe place for everyone. All right? Savage Sweetheart, good morning, sister. Kevin, good morning. On and on it goes. Good morning, y'all. Sister Nat. Hey, shout out Mom and Daddy. Good morning, Mom and Daddy. Love you.
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me.
Mark from Australia. Good morning, sir. Man, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
And it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Miss Nuru, good morning, good morning.
No, you just can't.
Brother Lateef, good morning. Infinite Content. Shay, good morning. Brother Chuck Diesel, Good morning.
My mama used to tell me, gotta when he ready. Man, it's crazy how my said it could have been my cell. It's either prison or a grave, that's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off your walls. Loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough life. On my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak.
Ear Hustler, good morning, good morning.
And I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say
I'm not sure what the chat is going ham about. We'll discuss it. We'll find out what's going on, okay?
No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Shoot the Dragon, good morning. Mark S, good morning. Mark S, that video that you sent
no, you just
us.
Can't hurt me. No.
Horrifying, but it's okay. We survived.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No. See, it's hard to be polite. It's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you when you're ready. Cause I ain't working on my own timing. Ain't got no diamonds on me.
Julie Van Ostel, good morning. And y'all, our next break, I'll make sure that we get off our new Twitch subscribers and new Patreon members. All right, y'all. It's so good to see everybody this morning. Thank y'all so much again for your help and your support. Because of you, and hopefully still because of you, able to get this MacBook replaced. Because yesterday was a pain in the butt. So got the new one up and running. Still has some issues, but we get there. So again, thank you so much. $ DJX3C, $ Becca's Voice. If you want to support them always, you can go to patreon.com/likeitOrNot. Patreon.com/likeitOrNot.
No, you just can't hurt me.
Tiger, that's something that I have to discuss and talk about off camera, Tiger, but I will see what I can find out. David, if you can get that super chat for me and review that, sir. David, I'm not sure if you got me, but make sure you get that super chat from Tiger for me, okay, David? Yeah, because I don't want to make sure I talk to everyone else about that and make sure that we good.
Look, I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad. Let her ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe.
I can't stand being talking about looks like I'm hosting a party in heaven. I look good in all this stuff. Like these soccer man so good, it's black on this morning. Look like a whole snack over here this morning. Boy, y'all better stop playing with me.
Doing 80 to the house, then I hit it to the sky. Change haters on a tirade. Talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hit stuff fade. We all want the same. We all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to enlighten.
Okay.
Spill from my lips, feel big from the dip. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grip, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah. Turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house.
And of course, I just lost my light because I forgot to charge the club, but y'all can still see me, so that's good. Now I really look like I'm in the club.
5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm mad. I'm still on the grind every time when I chat. Burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love. That's just how I'm made.
Truth in the glass in the mirror. Yeah. Do it at me, old man, trying to pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last
all right, y'all. Okay.
But I couldn't see that, and he cleared down.
Yes.
Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on that.
All right, y'all, it is time for Like It or Not, so make sure that you stay tuned. Like It or Not is about to go. Ciao. Light it up, light it up. Light it up, way up.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, people. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up? I love how I feel like y'all waited for me this morning and you gave me grace. Because usually it just be on like it or not, and I'm just here. But there was music and we came on this morning. But
well, I realized why rush? We could do it the way we want to do it. There's no reason for us to rush and be under pressure and we
really,
can
I
if we
thought,
need
I've been saying that too, but it's crazy when Dan don't want to rush. Then
but you do know
the world is ours. Okay,
girl.
The world
because y'all know I'm gonna send an email out.
I'm kidding. But good morning. I had,
Am I that bad?
No, yes.
Okay,
no.
okay, go ahead, Rebecca.
When I said it, but when it's always when people experience it themselves, they be like, I think that we should definitely just take our time, and just. I'm like, it's crazy.
It's funny when people need time for themselves. I needed to step away for a few minutes. So.
And people should definitely take time for themselves. I want to do a mental health check-in this morning. I know Simone Biles actually stepped out of the Olympic gymnastics yesterday, representing for the USA because of an injury. After one of her performances, she landed and there was an injury or something of the sort.
Wow.
So it's being reported that, she posted to her social media saying, it's been a lot on her. And thank God that she has her family virtually there with her. And I think even she said it's been a lot of stress on her shoulders. She felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. And I feel like that's something that we're hearing in common with a lot of these athletes, especially in the USA. We're hearing that a lot in common with these athletes. And I think the important thing is once you feel like, I believe that when she knew that she injured herself, she felt like she was a failure in that moment. And it was almost like all this hard work I've been doing. And she almost, I feel like, wanted to work through that, but had to pull back and be like, hey, the weight of the world's on my shoulders, but I'm glad I have my family with me. And to anybody, like you were saying, Ben, sometimes we just got to take a minute and a second and realize, okay, I'm overworking myself, and it's okay to not to be okay and step back.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm hurt. Realize, hey, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. I can't work in this pain or through this pain anymore. I know the world teaches us that, and especially for these athletes that we're seeing and us as people, for anybody feeling like you have the weight of the world on you and you got to work through your pain and your stress and just being overdone and just through. Sometimes it's okay. You're having a day of an anxiety attack. Something triggered you. You can't figure out what it is. And everybody's like, oh, here she go. Always, going through it. Not me though, but always going through it and things like that. But it's your time. If you need that 5 minutes, if you're on the phones at work all day and you need that 5 minutes, you definitely need to take it. Whatever you need to just breathe it out, because we can't be sitting here and still applying that boomer mindset of literally, hey, you're not working. You're laying down in bed because you felt sick. There's people out there who are working through their sickness. There are people who are working through their pain. There are people out there who got houses.
You talking about that clip from Steve Harvey where he's talking about, I don't sleep.
I wasn't talking about that one, but I mentioned that one the last time. But that takes me there too.
That mentality.
Diddy as well. Diddy has done that as well.
Yeah,
he posted recently, not too long ago, and it almost shames us, And he posted, said, "Oh, I was in this house with, growing up, I had 15 roaches on my face, and I knew I had to work harder because growing up, I woke up with 15 roaches on my face." So people were like, so he counted them roaches. So he was like, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got to work harder. No. I remember
you just need to go get some raid.
Go get some raid. Put the lights on in the house, right? And just see all them little critters just be like, hee. And I'm like, God, I can't bite my friends over here. Because
they really want us to buy the hype. They really want us to believe the hype.
Yeah,
they
do.
So it's not about that. It's really not like some people are okay. Luxury living does not have to be for some people, and I'll say this for me, doesn't have to be, oh my goodness, I need to because on my days off, when I take my day, I picture myself in luxury living. Luxury living does not have to be driving in a G-Wagon or because God, I hope that comes in the future, but it doesn't have to be driving in a G-Wagon or whatever.
Well, hang on. I don't mean to interrupt you, David. David, pull this down because you know they will pull us down. Let me tell you, they don't play about that B-roll there.
Yeah.
Take
She
that
was
one down.
fabulous, though.
She does. Take that
Hey,
down for they cancel our screen. It's in. Listen, I tell you. All right, now we get flagged. I know it's David's fault. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Down. But yes, though, luxury living for me is literally being able to just go to brunch by myself, and just be able to just eat some brunch, take a walk, go get my nails done, just little things like that. And for some people, it's just like sitting by the lake. I know one of our viewers was calling in and showing us his view. To me, that's luxury living. The fact that we can take time and breathe, it's whatever you want it to be. The fact that we can take time and just breathe and get away and do what we need to do is is a big deal. What's your luxury living, DJ?
I'm about to say my luxury living is being in my little small ass apartment in my cloud room with all my collectible stuff surrounded by me. It may not be the best looking thing, but it's mine.
It's
with
beautiful to me.
It's luxury. That's my luxury. I ain't got to be in no big fancy ass house. And I was all like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a house. You know what? Buy a house for what? I'm good.
Yeah. What works for you? It's mine. And I'm gonna stick right beside it.
I'm right beside it. That's mine. I'm gonna stick right beside it.
Stick right beside it. Ben, what's your luxury living?
My luxury living is being country as hell and walking barefoot down to the lake by my house.
Nice.
That's my
and you scary Mary about all kinds of diseases and things.
Now when I say barefoot, I'm exaggerating because flip-flops. I wear flip-flops, but that's barefoot.
Barefoot.
Man, I
take them off and I walk in the grass right there by a little lake, like it's my little spot, man. I discovered it in the pandemic, and I go down there 2 or 3 times a day. And anytime I get a free moment to walk, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, so Rebecca, you saying in a sense, Simone Biles, like I think her injury probably also says something else to her, and I wonder what you think.
I think go ahead.
I think it tells her also, hey, I ain't about to sacrifice myself for these folks.
Yes.
No, not no more. I'm good.
I think Naomi Osaka actually probably inspired her to probably look at herself in that way. And I believe that there are other people who that we probably don't even know, who feel the pressure in trying to get to the Olympics or, been practicing for the Olympics, which is fine because we want to, make sure we're the best that we can be for anything that we're doing, guys, for anything that we're doing. But when we feel sometimes the pressure of the world, especially when they're telling you how to do it, when you know you're doing your best. And I think when she hurt herself, she almost felt 2 things. She felt what you said, Ben. I ain't about to keep doing this. I got to step back. I got to step back. I got to heal
myself
and make sure I'm okay. And then she also felt, damn, all of this I've been doing in the world is counting on me. They call me the best gymnastics in this lifetime right now. Gymnast in this lifetime right now. That's me. At 24 years old, that is me. And I can't. Right now, with my injury, I can't be that. Will USA win? Because the pressure is on me to represent USA. But I think she was just like, there are other people on this team that I have trained and been trained with and have, been there for. And I've been having these coughs and I've been and everybody's like, you know how it is. I'm like, ma'am, look, because you know me. Hey, girl, you need to take care of yourself. Overworking yourself and working through this day isn't going to make you better. So first and foremost, take care of yourself, give yourself time, step back and make sure you're good and healed. And then you come back and you can lead us. That's exactly what I wrote.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
You are an insurrectionist, disruptive. Like you are always ready to tell somebody it's time for a revolution. Ain't it? She telling the boss it's time for a revolution.
Because everybody was like, oh, that's so sad. We're going to be right here for you. And I'm like, y'all can't be there for her virtually. Y'all don't know her. Some of y'all just got on. Right. You don't even know her. She needs to take a day. She's been here every single day. She got kids in the background. One day I heard them damn kids. She had to put us on mute. And I'm like, people need time. That's why I say, hey, step back. Take a day, sis.
Yeah.
take a day. I know that this particular corporation makes you feel that in order for you to even get looked at to be qualified for another position, you got to work this job, because they're going to go in the meeting and say she worked 400 days a year and we only have 365. Okay. And they will literally talk about her slaving herself, giving her blood, sweat, and tears for $1 raise.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think Simone Biles said I'm good. I'm good. I'm not gonna break not damn bone, no more injuries. Be 30 years old walking with a limp on behalf of a country that ain't pledged no allegiance to her. She said I'm good.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, I need some help with some videos. Can y'all help me with a couple videos I got?
Let's go. Drop them.
It depends on let me stop playing. It depends on how much money you spending. Let me stop.
It depends on how much money you dropping.
Okay, you dropping dollars or coins?
Because I only make it shake for some dollars.
Drop them stars on Facebook. We're shameless at this point.
Let's drop
We shameless at this point. No. Here we go. Y'all rock. I need y'all. My favorite evangelical. No, you keep them on the screen. Keep them on the screen.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Yeah, don't put me up here by myself. Take me down. That's why I got people on the show with me. I do not need to be broadcasting by myself because I have to run into stuff like this from this right-wing evangelical, our favorite, Greg Locke. And he is declaring to anyone in his congregation who shows up to church wearing a mask, he's going to kick them out. Dead ass. Let's take a look at the clip.
Believe this Delta variant nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. I know right-wing watching. I don't care. If they go through round 2 and you start showing up all these masks and all this nonsense, I'll ask you to leave. I will ask you to leave. I am not playing these Democrat games up in this church. If you want a social distance, go to First Baptist Church, but don't come to this one. I'm done with it. I said I'm done with it. I ain't playing these stupid games.
First of all,
done with it.
First Baptist Church down the street, black.
No, First Baptist Street. No, well, so I'm going to give them this. First Baptist in every city I've ever been in has been white as white as can be. So it's an interesting divide that he's saying go to the First Baptist because the folks at First Baptist ain't wearing no mask either. What are you talking about? They evangelicals too. They ain't fooling nobody.
I almost thought, I don't know. See, right at that part, I got I got the heebie-jeebies. I thought somebody threw a shoe at him. It just reminded me because everybody's been getting a shoe thrown at them lately. So I thought somebody threw a shoe at the baby at the Rolling Loud concert, and he ducked the same way. And then Bush. Former President George Bush, they juxtaposed it to a video of former President George Bush getting a shoe thrown at him. When people don't like you, they throw shoes. So I thought somebody was in the audience throwing a shoe at him for the nonsense he was saying. Now we can go and break this down into him saying he ain't playing these Democrat games. You are in a whole church,
right?
You are in a whole church. You're in a whole church. So now that's what we're doing. And here's the thing: this ain't the word. This is literally this man being paid to just do what Tucker Carlson does, but in a voice that's like, the Southern, it's giving Southern Baptist. It's giving Southern, I believe in Jesus Bible Belt type thing. And that, we're not playing these Democrat games over here. And did you hear the audience? Hallelujah. All right. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Hallelujah.
This is not a word.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this darn stuff. Let's go down to First Baptist Church and go down where?
No, he was letting hell know. You saw him communicating with hell. That's what he's doing right there.
He's knocking on hell's door.
He's tapping down.
He tapped his mic on the stage. Run the audio. Turn the audio on so we can hear how ridiculous he sounds real quick. He tapped the stage like
a dumbass.
Dude, you start showing up all these masks and all this nonsense, I'll ask you to leave.
I need you, devil.
I will ask you to leave.
I need you, devil.
Satan, they're not saying what they need to say, Satan. I need you. I done gave my soul to you. Come on now.
I thought he's a preacher though. How he give his soul to
he
the devil?
He did that Michael Jackson wanna be spin just now. I don't know.
Ben, you think that ain't no pastor, preacher gave their soul to the devil?
Oh, I just wanted to hear you say it out loud. That's all. Of course they have. This man is obviously like, I don't care. I don't care who he say he's serving. What God this is nothing. This ain't even devil worship. This is Trump worship. That's
Trump
all
worship.
this is.
Absolutely.
This is groveling at the throne, at the feet. What was that, Rebecca?
Trump is Satan himself. And that's why he was tapping on that floor saying,
Well,
help, can you hear me? I need you.
My favorite show on television is Lucifer. So I don't know, I honestly think that the devil is actually a little bit better than Trump. So I'm sorry, I digress. The point is that this is idol work. Like he's literally he's exchanged whatever idea of the gospel he thought he was preaching in exchange for Trump worship. This is and to the point, not only Trump worship, but to the point of he's going to put people out because they don't wear masks.
He said the Delta variant. He was like, ain't no Delta variant, this Delta variant nonsense. What is that about? Like, it's real, sir. It is such a real thing. And somebody in your audience may have it. And I'm pretty sure somebody in your audience is actually vaccinated. You could be vaccinated.
I guarantee you he's vaccinated.
Right. There's a likely chance that you are vaccinated. And what you're doing is preaching to your people. We say this every single day, guys. We say this every single day, that these people are doing a disservice to their flock. They're doing a disservice to their constituents. They're doing a disservice to the people who really follow every single thing that they said. This is supposed to be good counsel, and it's not good counsel. I don't care if you're Christian or whatever you could be. Your leader should give you good counsel for whatever following it is. And it's to be in good health. And it's to,
and
follow
prosper.
other good counsel. You are not a doctor, sir. And God or whoever y'all believe created folks who have the ability to help us get through things, through sickness. Like he wouldn't just drop scientists on the world. He wouldn't just drop doctors on the world. He wouldn't just drop lawyers in the world. He wouldn't just, all of these people are in place for a reason. And these doctors are here.
Well, I don't believe the science. I'm sorry.
But
I don't believe the
science. They don't believe the science either, though, Ben.
They
don't believe the science, though, either. So,
and I guarantee he's already vaccinated.
Guarantee you.
Dumbass got a vaccine.
Telling his flock.
Luke Kang in the chat said, man did 6 microphone taps, then a 6-degree spin. It was in the air for 6 milliseconds. Thus, he just used the mark of the beast 666 and tried to summon the devil.
Hey, that's a conspiracy theory right there.
Right there in itself. Corona. C is the third letter in the alphabet. Oh,
and when you 15. Drop it low, how many letters is Corona spelled? How many letters is that? 6.
Oh, man.
Hey, bro, on the 66th variant of the virus. What's up?
On the 6th day of June.
Hello.
In the year of 2006.
Actually, we just missed because yesterday was the 26th, so I believe this was filmed possibly on the 26th. So that gives us another number 6 right there. So how many 6s did we just calculate? We just calculated 3. 3 in the spans of about 6 minutes that we've been talking about this. Which leads us to know right there, the Delta variant is a lie.
The Delta variant represents a pyramid. Delta, the symbol for Delta in calculus, is a pyramid, harkening back to the 2nd and 3rd and 4th, as you said, the 5th eye of intelligence. And if we don't look at what this man is saying, we won't see the elegance of his arrogance.
Wow. That made all the sense in the world.
It didn't make no sense.
Bullshit. Okay? This is exactly what
wait, our poem or his sermon?
All of it. You see how we sound crazy? He sounds crazy. But the theatrics carries him through. The theatrics that they steal from us carries them through.
The music that I'm going to put underneath this in post-production is going to carry our poem through. Go ahead.
The theatrics will carry. I just watched this thing on TikTok. Somebody put some sad music under it, and it made me think, is this going to be something sad? It wasn't. The man was saying stuff, and it didn't do what it was supposed to do. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. It was supposed to make me feel and be one with it. That flip and turn did not make me feel empowered to say hell to the Delta variant. The only way I'll say hell to the Delta variant is it is not going to claim my life. Okay, it's not going to claim my family's life. We're going to make sure we take care of ourselves, stay masked up. What we're going to do is make sure we get vaccinated, and we're going to make sure we are 100% taking care of what needs to be taken care of, and that it's us and ours. We will not. I haven't stepped foot back into the church because it looks they stopped wearing masks. And I just can't go. And they're no longer social distancing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I need y'all also to say something about is because Did you ever really, really, really believe that they would be so committed to their stupidity that they would be willing to die? Because that's next level. Like,
Yeah.
I played a lot of games in my life, but none where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna F around and just get this Delta variant. And the dude from what's that mega church, that Willowwood or something. It was a guy, 34-year-old guy who was a member of one of these big mega churches, and he tweeted online, he's got 99 problems, but a vaccine isn't one. And then he died. He died.
He posted a picture of himself in the hospital saying that he's going to have to go under, basically have them put him to sleep. He had to make that choice for himself because he could no longer take the what was happening. He couldn't breathe, the pain. And so what he did was put himself, or a lot of people to put him under to see if that would heal it, make him better. But he ended up passing. And that was a lot to see. It's funny, because remember, during the beginning of the pandemic, we saw people saying in one instance on social media, hey, F COVID, it's nothing. It ain't, it ain't doing nothing or whatever. Like, it's not doing nothing to nobody. We weren't even at the vaccine stage yet. We were only talking about wearing masks, you guys. And they were out there saying, I ain't wearing no mask. I'm still going to go out and do what I need to do. Right. We didn't have any information. People still trying to be outside. And that same man, a few people, that wasn't even the only instance at the time, a few people literally who were posting that and making all the rage about going out still and staying unmasked.
They died. Yeah.
They flipped their script and said, hey, I'm dying of COVID-19. This is before we had a vaccine, y'all. This is before we knew anything. And now we have people who are still out here saying, I ain't getting no vaccine. And that's okay. I'm not going to shame you for not getting the vaccine, but then don't go out and stay masked up if you're going to go to the grocery store. And if you end up going somewhere, quarantine yourself. Do not go around your family. We still have to apply those same rules. To me, I think that's better than the CDC just telling us be out in these streets.
Because I'm trying to survive. Yeah. I'm trying to have as many of my friends and family with me on the other side of this pandemic. I got time for these dumb ass Republicans playing these games with their dumb ass lives. I'm like, y'all tripping.
We're not playing Democrat games, like old boy said. We're not playing reindeer games. We're not playing Republican games. I'm not playing any games with my life. Take care of yourself, and that's what this is all about, so that we will not be something that we go back and be like, this is what this person said, and now they have no life to even speak about them getting through this. So we're going to take it to a quick break. Give us something nice to listen to, Bubba, and we'll be right back after this with more Like It or Not.
Yeah. Shout out again, everybody, man. Welcome again to Like It or Not, the Benjamin Dixon Show on the clock with Georgia Foot, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Going to get through these patron lists. It's been a lot because your boy has been gone. So here we go. Can I pull on this stuff real quick? Woo. Oh my God, today. Our new patron members, we have Deborah D. Our new Twitch subscribers. Here we go. Cam Tokes, Bump Dragon, Firewall CMD, Semi Lynn the Con Dragon, who's been subscribed for 4 months already. Z After, who resubscribed. Silver Knight Dragon resubscribed. We have Amy K. Blue, who resubscribed. Mimosa Dragon, shout out to you, who gifted 2 subscriptions to John F. McDroppel and Ginger Snip Snap. Sammy Lynn the Con Dragon gifted 16 subscriptions. 16? Sammy Lynn, you're a real one, sis. I appreciate you. We have Zivis X, who cheered 190 bits. Spectacular Snyderman, who cheered 6 bits. Ginger Snip Snap cheered 30. Rachel Letney, good morning, cheered 50 bits. Pisacata cheered 200 bits. Hollywood 2000 cheered 100 bits. Rachel Letney cheered another 100 bits. My God, y'all is bidding the hell out of us. I hear y'all. And we have Siscat, who cheered 200 bits. Our Twitch community completed a hype train at level 2, contributed 1 subscription, total 18 sub gifts, and 576 bits. Man, Twitch, y'all killing the game over here, boy. Let's see. Moose Soup resubscribe. We have Sammy Lynn, the Con Dragon again, who gifted 8 subscriptions. Excuse me. Take a break. Pause. Let me hydrate. Oh, I know where my water is. All right, Mimosa Dragon gifted another subscription. Kathy NMC76 gifted one. Define Canadian subscribe. Trucks Akuman. We have Tino Tomasi. Rachel Letney cheered 100 bits, and Tino Tomasi cheered 100 bits, by the way. Pup Dragon cheered another 100 bits. Zen Cyclist cheered 600 bits. Mimosa Dragon 11 bits. Our Twitch community completed another hype train at level 2, contributed 2 subscriptions and a total of 9 sub gifts and 850 bits. My God, today, boy, out rocking it. Pray Night 1976 resubscribed with Prime and commented, "Rest in peace, Michael Brooks, friend of Ben's," and was an influential on the left, and they've been subscribed for 9 months. Big Doing Kami 1312 subscribed, and Transgressive Chemist cheered 100 bits. Woo! I got through it, y'all. That was a whole goddamn line, wasn't it? To the point I missed the whole song. So we're gonna go back and hear the goddamn again. Here we go. And if you have not already, make sure that you go subscribe. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot. Become a member today, y'all. You can do this. And Friday, Friday is going down. It should have went down last Friday, but I was traveling, so don't worry, I'm back. Friday, patron party. Patron party. Patron party. Patron party. Patron party. Make sure that you're there. Friday, y'all. Friday evening, okay? Make sure y'all check the emails. It'll be coming out soon. Let's go.
My energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my
Say it, seven, sweetheart. Y'all leave me alone.
I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine, but let me find out.
Six Dragon Daddy, good morning. Shout out to everybody that is streaming on Twitter, Twitch. Well, I say Twitter. Everybody that's streaming on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you streaming from, man, we appreciate y'all so much. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, so you know when everything is going down. You don't want to miss it. I promise you. Promise.
But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true. Tell them I need my money right now.
Mama, I see you in the chat. Mama, good morning.
Sorry to tell you, I know my value.
Let me drop a good classic on y'all real quick. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Don't waste my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't never been true to me. My intuition ain't never lied, I had to leave. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on.
Marjorie, good morning. Kat, good morning.
Yeah, my hand is wrapped around your waist. I love the way that you been twirling to the bass. Moving sideways on a Friday. DJ playing all of your favorites.
All right, y'all. Looks like it's time to come back. So welcome back to the screen if they are ready. Let me make sure they're ready first, because I'm just saying welcome back to the screen. They ain't checking they're ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right, let's go. Welcome back to the screen, y'all. Rebecca and B.
All night. Come on. Well, I got more right-wing pastors, or I got the stories that you dropped, Rebecca. It don't matter which way we go. It's all going to connect to the same kind of stupidity that we see every day in this country, more or less. Which way y'all want to go?
Let's go with that one pastor clip so we can knock it out, since we're already on the same wave right now.
On the same, because it's in the same. Well, this is the extension of the pastor clip. We just looked at Reverend Pastor Greg Locke, whatever his name is, and he was telling his congregation that he would not allow them to come into his church wearing a mask. And then the conversation went to how deeply committed these people are to their politics, to the point that they will let themselves die Okay. Here's a clip. There's two clips. I just want y'all to see how far this goes. This is a clip of anti-vaxxers out of rural Arkansas, and they were featured in a CNN report, just showing you. I need y'all to see how committed they are to their ignorance, because these are the people we're fighting against. And so it really should matter to the audience that you understand we're fighting against an opponent who has no regard for their life or the lives of their children. Let's watch the first half of this clip.
Arkansas has the third lowest COVID-19 vaccination rate in the country. Just 36% of the population is fully vaccinated. Like many places with low vaccination rates, it's now seeing a spike in cases. Are you going to get the vaccine?
I have not, and I will not. I'm not a guinea pig.
You got COVID?
I did, that's the reason I didn't get it. But then after I got over the COVID, I had a heart attack.
So why would you not get the vaccine?
I might have a bad reaction to it.
I see.
It's real. COVID's real. I nearly died from it and will probably have issues from it for the rest of my life.
The nurse who was on a ventilator, when we went to her house, she had Fox News blaring on a huge TV. She's not necessarily a fan of our network, but she wanted to get the message out. And so I was like, you know these people best, like, how would you convince them? And she said, I don't know. And then she said something that really stuck with me, which was, our country will never be the same after COVID. She thinks that it will always be around the corner, another variant, that it's always going to be sweeping through people, and that these attitudes are so baked in. There doesn't seem to be anything that can change it.
Okay, so this is in Arkansas, and I really want to get clarification on what the barber, first of all, old boy in the back, he got him way up at the top. He ain't even get him right.
You see the fade in the back?
It wasn't even giving a fade.
It was like, what the hell? A mullet? Or like, what was that?
It wasn't.
Definitely was not a mullet.
It wasn't right.
We digress.
He said he got COVID, can't even cut hair right.
Okay.
These effects are very lasting. Okay, so that affects your business that you can't cut hair correctly, sir. But he said he had COVID. What was the reason that he said he wasn't going to get the vaccine?
Yeah, you heard that because he was afraid of the adverse effects.
Oh, that's what he said.
So the COVID didn't give him adverse effects. I mean, hearing the woman,
that heart attack sounds like an adverse effect.
He literally got a heart attack after he had COVID,
and that's a long-term effect of COVID.
Okay, and listen to this: the woman still sounds like she can't breathe. Remember when COVID first came out, and we were people were just breathing very, very heavy and could not breathe. And could not breathe. I got you.
We'll wait for the after party.
And could not breathe. And honestly, even me watching these different shows that were trying to incorporate COVID in their shows, everybody had breathing issues. They could not breathe. Remember, there was a shortage of ventilators. To this day, some hospitals still have a shortage of ventilators. But people are sitting in the lobby no longer needing the damn mask.
Yeah, we could be
in
out
hospitals.
Of this. Oh,
what'd you say, Ben? Sorry.
When you said that, the first thing that came to mind is if they had act right, we could have been out of this pandemic.
Yeah, when COVID first came out, it's true. When COVID first came out, look, the premiere was back in March. I mean, I feel like it was like since the year before. Because I had got super sick. I had got super sick in December where I could not breathe and I could not stop coughing for days. I mean, it wouldn't go away. I couldn't speak without literally coughing. I couldn't breathe in the middle of the night. It was just really bad. And that was back in the end of 2019. I didn't go nowhere because I was too sick to go anywhere. Finally, then it was just like that. Everybody, my sister ended up, her bronchitis flared up because I got sick. It was just bad. We didn't know what was going on. But yeah, when it first came out for us to understand what was going on back in the end of February, March, the season premiere of COVID here in America, it definitely was. It was one that we will never forget. Now the Delta variant, people were saying that the Delta variant it's just, remember when we first started hearing about that? That was towards the end of last year. And now it done found its way over here. I have a friend who didn't get vaccinated. I'm not gonna call her out, but been on social media, and I'm like, damn, she go everywhere with no damn mask. And she's one of those people that be like, Howard, you're sitting down on the couch, you're not making any money. Here's 6 ways to make money. Right now, if you're using Instagram, here are 3 ways you can make your reels make money for you. That's her every single day. And she goes in brunches every weekend. I'm like, that's fine, because I go to brunches too. But I'm like, damn. Sis, like you don't even sit down one time and you're not vaccinated, sis. You're not vaccinated. Now she posted up. Do you see? You guys probably have seen that I did not post up any of my reels for the last few days. Turns out I have COVID-19. Y'all, the Delta variant is nothing to play with.
See?
You know who had told me the Delta variant was nothing to play with before I had to actually go through it? Science. Just basic common damn sense that 630,000 people means we're actually going through something for real here. Mm-hmm. And we got these morons. Here's part 2 of the video. David, run the second half.
Getting looked at COVID.
How old is he?
8.
Wow. Did anyone you know get COVID?
My son had COVID.
How old is he?
8.
Wow, so that's like pretty rare for like a young kid. What was that like?
He was sick a lot. He's been sick a lot for a while, and he's still sick. So we'll have to go get him looked at and see if there's further damage. I don't know. I mean, because he got real sick. Yeah. Fever every day for weeks.
Are you guys going to get the vaccine?
No, no vaccine.
How come?
I just don't trust the government.
Are you going to get the vaccine?
Absolutely not. My kids are not going to get it. None of us.
How come?
I mean, I figure I'll just let the world work its natural ways. I don't believe in it. You know, I mean, I haven't never. It seems it only comes about every presidency, and it seems like it's either crowd control or whatever you want to call it. But I want my family to have nothing to do with it. We've always been healthy, and this seems to work better that way.
Not everyone around here feels this way.
I think you need to get it because it's not only helping you, it can help your whole family, everybody around you. It's better to take a chance on the shot than it is to take a chance on the COVID. Cowboy up and go in there and get a shot and come out of there like a grown up, you know.
Rebecca, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't realize we were coming back to air that quick. My bad.
Right, that quick.
Damn. I was saying Rebecca to myself, but here we are. That lady, they don't even care about their children, y'all. That's the kind of people we fighting against. And we think they actually give a damn about critical race theory. You know what I mean? Like, you think they actually, you think that people who are so committed to their bigotry and their stupidity and their politics that they will allow their children to suffer through COVID-19. Y'all think we could negotiate with them? You think we could triangulate? You think we could filibuster with them? You think we could have bipartisanship with them?
Oh, they do. If you notice now, we haven't really heard bipartisanship hasn't been the word in this particular season.
Hasn't.
It's been critical race theory. Because like these fights are fake. So it was that whole fight in bipartisanship and working together to get things done. We see where the Republicans are sticking. Okay, now all of a sudden we stop using the term bipartisanship and stuff. They start changing their way of thinking. You don't see that? Oh, yeah. You guys need to get vaccinated. COVID is real. Mm-hmm. COVID can destroy your lives. These are what those same people for a year straight, who were saying for a year straight, politicians and these media personalities for the right wing, they were literally telling you not to get vaccinated. And I understand there was a question surrounding that. I had my own reservations myself. I wanted to see, but with my reservations, I had to sit my ass at home. I had to be miserable. I had to sacrifice that. I was not going to keep going nowhere, especially crowded places. My mask was going to be worn. And if I felt like I did go maybe to my sister's house and have some drinks and people were there, I had to come home and quarantine 14 days. Okay. Being away from the guy that I was dating, had to do it. Okay. To see what was going on. He had a whole son. Okay. So like, this is what my life had to be because of my reservations with it. But these other people are unvaccinated, but acting like every day is every day. And as we look right now, that woman, as we heard, that woman who said her 8-year-old child was suffering with COVID-19 and has still lasting effects from COVID-19. Couldn't get the fever to break, but she will not.
Yeah.
She won't. She's outside right now. She's outside right now, not knowing if she's carrying nothing.
Which 9 times out of 10, she probably was the one that gave it to him.
Come on.
Because where'd that baby get it from?
Because
Exactly.
I was gonna say here
Exactly.
where they got it from, y'all. This is how much they don't care. They have a lot of these people have the choice to homeschool. Not everybody. There's a lot of essential workers black folks who have no choice but to send our kids to school because we got to go pay the bills. These folks have an option and they still send their kids to school anyway because they do not care. And so it's possible those kids could have picked it up at school because they refuse to shut down the schools. Yeah, they don't care about their children. What do you think they're going to do to this planet? What you think they're going to do to black folks if they get another opportunity? What you think they're going to do to women? But it definitely could. Yeah, of course it could be the mother. Mother probably was at the bar.
He said, cowboy up and go get the vaccine. You hear what he said? He said, cowboy up and go get that vaccine.
Terry said, I'd rather suffer from the
it's not only
effects of
helping you,
COVID.
it can help your whole family,
hang on,
everybody around you. It's better to take a chance on the shot than it is to take a chance on the COVID.
Mute him. What you saying, Bubba?
I said, Terry said, I'd rather take the chance on the vaccine versus taking the chance on the COVID.
I mean, isn't that common sense?
Common sense.
630,000 people have died. 630,000 people have died from the pandemic.
I feel like it's so much more than that. You know, we have hidden figures in these numbers. Okay, these people have hidden the numbers. They have. We know that already. We did stories on how Cuomo had the allegations of covering up the numbers,
nursing home.
There was so many numbers in that beginning stage of COVID. And that was, to me, they had to hide the numbers so that they can open up the states again. They had a reason to open up their borders again so that people can come back in and they could do what? Create, because for them, money is more important. So the greed, I remember that was our standpoint at that time. And it still is today. We were getting money from the government. Remember them checks was dropping and states was opening back up. Little by little, the first state to have COVID-19 literally was saying, hey, we ready. We ready for y'all to come back over here. We're ready. And I'm like, what sense is it making? What we're not going to do.
Dollars and cents.
Oh, it does.
Them.
It does.
That's what it was.
It does. And if there's this Delta variant seems to be very severe. And the LA, there's an LA county that took matters into their own hands and decided to shut down their whole area again, and go back into the quarantine environment, and shutting down stores and limiting hours at the grocery store again. I wouldn't mind, y'all. I wouldn't mind going back and going back into a shutdown, where everybody is just, I wouldn't mind going back into a shutdown.
We need to like, and I'm I gotta travel this weekend, and I've already bought my plane ticket, but I'm about to drive because I got to be able to manage.
You are not gonna drive in.
No, watch me. No, let me tell you why. The Delta variant. Listen. I ain't got time. See, there are certain scenarios where you are at the mercy of everyone else's good intentions. I ain't got time to get on a plane. What a lot of people aren't saying is we can wear our mask. We should wear our mask, 2 or 3 masks, whatever number of masks we wear. But it is the other person wearing their mask that protects our lives. And when you're in a plane, you're traveling, you're in a restaurant, you're in a closed room, wherever you are at the mercy of the other person's willingness to participate in protecting you. Y'all think I'm looking around with the Delta COVID variant and listening to I'm flying out of Georgia. You think I'm gonna put my life at risk for some of these Bama ass backwoods country bumpkin Trump supporters who refuse to wear a mask? And then they want to record a video on I'm standing up for my rights, and they spewing their COVID all through the plane.
Now, play devil's advocate. They do it is still law that you have to have that mask on in the airport, airplane, all times.
I can vouch. I have.
Me too. I've flown too.
Out one or more times, okay, in this particular season being vaxxed and waxed. And I do say
Come on, vaxxed and
that although it is a Delta variant out here in these streets, on Delta Airlines, you actually have a pleasant experience where you can't even slip with that mask. You ain't never seen none of these good ass videos.
What's Joy? This lady, Joy Star, she's getting on the plane with you. You think she's gonna put the mask? She gonna record a video saying, "I'm my liberty."
Hey, that's fine. She don't have to, because her ass is gonna be right off that goddamn plane.
She can't even walk through the walkway without having the mask on.
They will not let you in the airport without a mask on.
COVID breath.
Like when I tell you, when I worked in the airport, security, bro, if you don't have your mask on when you walk in that door, bro, they will not let you in there.
We're not talking Frontier. We're not talking American Airlines.
I don't know that I'm ready to put my life.
I said Delta Airlines. I can honestly say that it's been the only. And when I first started getting on Delta,
I'm about to have the best road trip I've ever had in a long time.
Ben, get your ass on this plane, Ben.
If you want to do your best road trip, you want to do whatever that works for you.
I'm gonna have a good time. But even more importantly,
Seattle.
But y'all know,
right?
Put me on that plane and get me to where I gotta go.
Listen. I'm a road warrior.
Vacation time is stretched, baby.
I tell you what, if I
and be there for 1 hour, because I decided
if I wasn't doing radio,
hours.
if I wasn't doing YouTube and podcasting, I would be a truck driver because I love driving. So
but do you
y'all know I drove from Florida. I drove from Florida to Boston nonstop, like 3, 4, 5 times in a row.
That was back when you had young legs, Ben. It ain't that no more. I
got a lot more grays in this beard.
I used to drive all the time from
I got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes
Georgia to Florida all the time, and I did that during the pandemic. I said, "This is dumb."
Look,
hey,
this is dumb.
Y'all, listen. I gotta go do that thing.
Oh
yeah.
Fingers crossed, right? No.
Okay, look. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers look. In the name of Jesus, you will. And it shall. Where 2 or more are in agreement, it shall be done. Okay.
On me.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, I'm logging out. It's in y'all hands.
It is.
All right, brother. Have a good one, Ben.
Look, so what's up? Being gone.
So what we about to do?
What?
Let's go do some hood rat shit. Let me start playing. I'm in Florida, girl. What's up? Let's
look, this is the time. We are at the 10 o'clock hour. You guys are tuned in to Like It or Not with Rebecca Azor and DJ exclusive Bubba Williams. All right. And what we're about to do for you is drop something real nice. You want to play something for them real quick, DJ? And while he's looking for something to play really quick, I'm going to go to a quick break because we have 2 really good stories to cover. And I really want to make sure we get to that. But right now, since look, the boss ain't in the house, we can have a little good time. And while we have a good time and we change things up a bit for this after hours, but we're going to keep it open. We're not going to move to private, David, because look, Daddy ain't here. So we could definitely keep it open. And if we're keeping it open, what does that mean?
Gone.
That means it's free to you, but definitely tip the host and tip the DJ. You already know what it is. Go ahead and change our @ signs to our $signs on Cash App and go ahead and play something nice for them. DJ X3C. And we'll be right back with more Like It or Not after this.
Rebecca about to be my hype man at all my DJing shows. Another throwback jam, y'all. It's Throwback Tuesday. It's Tuesday, huh? All right, y'all. Here we go, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. The stream is open. It's public. Make sure that you tip your DJs and your hosts, y'all, because without you, we can't make this happen, y'all. DJ X3C on Cash App and Becca's Voice on Cash App as well, too.
Trying to prove me wrong in every fight.
Ooh, I got like 5,000 sounds right here. There we go.
Always wanna check me. Wanna call me out.
Mama talking about be good in the chat.
Where you travel for the sense. You love me and I love you, but butting heads is what we do. Bullheaded, stubborn, wild, crazy lovers. You love me and I love you. Why can't we just match the two?
David is Becca's Voice. BECCASVORCE.
Baby, we're fire. Feed the flame. We're fire. We're fire.
Make sure that y'all stay tuned. We got some more good stuff coming up, y'all.
You love me and I love you.
And David, that other clip that I sent you as well too, David.
But she look good. You ain't gotta stand in the mirror with your makeup on, cause you know that take way too long. I just want that right now, girl, you Uber outside. I can't wait just to get this song.
While Papa is away, the kids will play. Yay! Oh, y'all come on inside, Daddy gone, we can play. Shout out to everybody, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that you stay tuned. We got more Like It or Not coming up next, y'all.
Girl, I'm tryna taste it. You know what I like. Known to get freaky in the night. When she hit the room, you know it's on sight. And she all on my type. And you know I don't like to wait, no. But she look good. You ain't gotta stand in the mirror with your makeup on, cause you know that take way too long. I just want that right now. Girl, you Uber outside. I can't wait just to get this song. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long. Yeah. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long. Girl, don't take too long. I've been waiting on you to pull up. Girl, I know you got a member, he can stay at home. He don't need to be around.
Marcus, yes I am. Digging in the database, not the crates, the database.
Roll up. Now baby, just hold up. Say you got a friend, bring it in. We can do what you wanna. I know you need it. Not to sound conceited, but girl, I complete you. I don't wanna wipe you up now. But you look good. You ain't gotta stand in the mirror with your makeup on, cause you know that take way too long. I just
we make y'all whine a little bit. Dirty wine. Boop, boop, boop. Bomba Tiger, Rastafari. Y'all alone this morning. I'm not playing with y'all, okay? Make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, And David, no.
So baby, what's your hurry? You don't have to prove us to anyone. You don't need to worry. Go down low, sugar.
Being here, I'm gonna sing every song that I'm about to play, okay? All right, y'all. Y'all welcome back to the screen. My sister from another mister, Rebecca.
You better sing them songs because Daddy ain't home.
What'd you say, Rebecca?
I said you better sing them songs because Daddy ain't home. So you know what I'm saying? Listen, this is what we do. It's a party. It's a party. That's what we're doing here, okay? But you guys, Ben said cross your fingers. We don't know what's going on, but hopefully it's a good opportunity for us to be out of the streets. Even though I like the streets a little bit. I like the streets a little bit.
The streets is cool. I had so much fun this week. I feel like I've been gone from Atlanta for so long, and I've enjoyed the hell out of it. Like, I'm sad I'm leaving today. Like,
where's your light
from Florida? Huh? My light went out. So yeah, it went out. So okay, that's why I'm looking like that's why the mood lighting is going on. It's like, welcome to TJ Exclusives, like it or not.
To like it. Yeah, that's what it's getting.
After hours.
You are tuned in after hours. Yeah. I don't got that voice, but I kind of got that voice because I'm deep.
Right,
like,
you do.
Like right in there. I ain't there yet.
You sound better than mine. Okay, get that little sound like a fake or something. Look.
But you guys definitely, but while Ben is doing that, we definitely look down right here is our Cash Apps. Tip your host and tip your DJ. We're gonna have a good time in these next 28 minutes. We're gonna have a really good time. Right. We got if we can cover 3, but we got 2 really good stories for you. It's one particularly that I think you guys will love. It's another preacher story, but I'm gonna let Bubba definitely cover that one. But I want to hit this one before we definitely get out of here. This has been something that has been going pretty much viral. Well, we knew that in the past few days, well, not the past few days, the past few weeks, the whole scandal between Sha'Carri not being able to participate in the Olympics because of testing positive for marijuana during drug tests, and that has been a story. That has been a conversation, and we've said, why don't we just let her run? That has been the whole the hashtag for her. Let her run. And for a lot of us, we've had the conversation and we talked about the use of marijuana or CBD or whatever they call it nowadays. I don't know, but just basically how people are profiting off of it, and usually it's people that are not of color. White people have dispensaries and they're growing in a growing business in this with marijuana, while people are serving almost life sentences at times for selling marijuana, or being caught with it in their vehicles, or driving while high. But so she began trending again, and this is Sha'Carri, after Olympic athletes were actually posted on a Forbes story about using cannabis. That's another word for it, about using marijuana. And for the story, they spoke to U.S. soccer women's the national team, soccer star Megan Rapinoe. I hope I'm saying her name right, but I remember her, Megan Rapinoe, who uses CBD products made by Mindy, a CBD company her sister, Rachel Rapinoe, co-founded. And she does this to get ready, y'all. And Megan, who previously supported Richardson and says that all athletes should be able to use marijuana, says she uses CBD to help her get to sleep and recover after training sessions. Okay. Now, after the article that helps promote Rachel's company made rounds the last couple of days, fans are noting that they believe it to be a double standard. One person on Twitter, and this is reported by Revolt TV, one person on Twitter said, "Effing excuse me, Sha'Carri Richardson got banned for using cannabis after she found out her mother died while being interviewed, but somehow it's okay for white people to incorporate it into their training regimens." And here's my thing. Again, Sha'Carri Richardson was kept out of the Olympics due to testing positive for marijuana during a drug test, right? And to me, I honestly believe that this is time and time and time and time again that we see with our Black athletes what we don't see with our white athletes. And I've said this a lot of times. They go into recovery, which we've seen time and time again. Like, they'll go into recovery and they'll go into rehab and get themselves better because of an addiction or whatever the case may be. But she literally hit the blunt out of stress or whatever
Her mom
died,
bruh.
her mother died.
Her mother died.
And then we're talking about another person, Rapinoe, who was well known for the U.S. soccer team. She's talented, but she's talking about, and she's white, and she's talking about how for her, she uses this to train and recover CBD products. She uses that. And at the same time, it's growing their business, you guys. Her and her sister are growing their business, their cannabis business.
Literally growing their business.
So what do you think, Bubba? Do you think that this is a double standard?
Oh, absolutely, Rebecca. When I first saw this story, this first thing I said, I'm like, okay, so we can take somebody's Olympic dreams away from them because they smoke weed because their mom passed, but then get to the Olympics and you're going to let, and I hate to say it like this, two white women get on there and basically promote their product for CBD oil. And granted, CBD is just it's just the cannabis portion of it, which the THC is not as strong, but still, it's the same. Let's be honest, it's the same thing. Granted, you can go to the corner store and get some CBD stuff, but I mean, I wouldn't trust it. But it's the same thing. It's like it's a double standard for real.
Because it's coming from the same plant, right? It's
basically yes.
So
it still has like a very minute amount of THC in it, which is the stuff that basically gets you high. It has a very minute amount, but it's still in there.
Yeah. And they utilize it for their recovery, and she was utilizing it for her recovery, mental health and things like that. And people really really, really went after her pretty hard. A lot of people were saying she should have known better. And I'm like, hold on now. Wait a second. I get it. You know, these are the rules, but they literally placed the hammer down on her. And if you look at what's funny, her story before this marijuana story came out was she's she's such a star. She's beating out everybody. She's went through so much in her life, but look at her making it. Look how she's taking all that pain and putting it into the field. But it was somebody who was a hating ass person who had to be like drug tester now. You know, it's one of those people. And it's like, find something on her. We need to find something on her. But what they didn't know
one of
was
those
that
Caucasian conservative women. Oh, look at her. She just needs to be tested. Look at her. I don't like how she looks. Just test her.
Yeah.
She has to have something on her. I really feel like that's how they are. Like, for real. I hate that, but it's that time is shown. That's how it is.
they want to stop her. They wanted to stop her. But this what's so funny is we was like, hey, hold on. That's little sis.
Yeah.
And what we not gonna do is treat her like she isn't a person. She is human, and we're not gonna act like her hitting the blunt gave her superhuman abilities. Okay, we're not. We saw those weird ass stories that came out that literally said, "Hey, her hair and that Australian reporter tried to come out with a story that said." If we're looking at her hair and how the length of her hair has grown and the length of her nails, it shows drug abuse. It was so dumb because the nails were acrylic and the hair we know is a lace front, sis. And all of the BS that they tried to come with and the stories that they tried to surround, the narrative that they tried to create, it definitely didn't take away from this girl being gifted. This girl running in the spirit of Flojo, you know, which is Flojo's who we've seen there. You know, it's like we're not going to take that away from her. If there's anybody that needs to be dealt with, she's going to be dealt with her family fans. That's the black folks who support her and understand. Okay, we're going to stick right beside her. We make mistakes just the same way you guys give grace to a lot of your athletes that are doing drug abuse, that are abusing things to enhance their performance. Okay, the same grace. So at the end of the day,
that part.
You know, to wrap a no, I know that they said that she did, come to the defense for Sha'Carri. The moments like this, even when you're promoting this, I feel like even in this article, one big part of it would have been a conversation about Sha'Carri and how I'm an athlete. She's an athlete. I own a whole cannabis company where I talk about, you know, recovering and things like that. You know, it's funny how when stuff is like, you're trying to highlight yourself in your own. It's like, okay, then let me remove myself from being bipartisan. And let me remove myself from that and talk about my own stuff. But yeah, shouts out to Sha'Carri. We right here for you. Listen, you know, everybody else can make their money off of this stuff. But one thing about here, look, in my Dr. Mac voice. Oh, she doesn't own the company, no, but she,
just her sister.
Yeah, her sister, but she's with her sister on it. They're representing a company in their family name. David, love you, mean it.
Right.
But you know, just like Dr. Carl Mack would say, you know, whether they like it or not, right here on the show, what we're gonna do is make sure that we take care of ours. Okay, we make sure that we create the correct narrative for ours, and that's gonna be it. Absolutely it. I love you, Sha'Carri. We got your back, honey.
Got your sister.
And Simone Biles, we got your back, honey. All right, Naomi Osaka, we got your back, love, forever and ever and ever. Yeah, everybody, we got your back.
Man. Okay.
Yeah. Hotties for sure.
Right.
Okay, David, have all three of them ready.
Yes, David. Oh man, oh my gosh, y'all. The documentary on Naomi Osaka on Netflix.
You've been saying it. So you know what? I'm gonna definitely support my Haitian Japanese sister
Rebecca.
And watch it during my slavery.
First of all, her daddy is Haitian.
Yeah, well, I know.
Haitian.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, man, this series will have you crying. It really will. It's like, man, she did all that, especially when the other tennis player, the other young black tennis player, that was with her that time. And basically she went over to her and said, hey, you want to come do this interview with me? Because this is a lot. And I know it's a lot. I don't want you to go through this by yourself. So come do this interview with me. Oh, bro, I broke down.
Yeah, I need to definitely. I need to watch. I'm an emotional wreck
definitely
anyway, usually as a person. So once I start my shift, I'm already like feeling like, oh, it's so. I just hate it here, and I just be watching. So I'll watch, I'll watch.
You
But this
sound like
story,
me.
yeah, I'll be like, oh my God, Lord,
Like,
do
when
I
did I
have
watch
to?
this?
Do I have to clock in? Let me just go ahead and put something on to keep me, whatever. I'll do a workout and then I'll put something on to keep me just mentally here because I
Yeah.
really look, y'all. I'm just not. I don't like it. I don't like it there, guys. I'm abusing people every day. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm miserable. Yeah, I am. And I mean, I'm
Rebecca.
grateful to God
Yeah.
that I'm able to pay my bills. But yeah, I am miserable there because I am. I'm hurting people every day, and I don't like it. And I'm getting reprimanded for hurting people every day.
Yeah. What David said, you gotta look at the silver lines you get through. David, I think that's probably like the only thing that keep me from not quitting my job on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because when I
Yeah.
tell you, it's just like, man, I'm just like, I'm getting in the shout. I know I'm ready to quit. I'm getting in the shout matches with my boss on conference call on the phone, and I'm just like, I don't do this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's not who I am. It's
Yeah.
not who I am. It's not who you are. That's why I try to go in, and that's why doing this honestly. And I told Ben this every morning, getting here, getting up to do this, it makes it. It helps me get through. And after this, I usually
Yeah.
work out at some point in the day. That helps me get through too. But this is what I love. This is what gives me joy. Being a journalist is what gives me joy. But actually, this is what got me through the pandemic. I went through a tough depression. And I mean, you guys probably seen it unravel right here. Especially in the beginning. I went through a really tough depression with this mess. Like just going through the pandemic and then having to call people and tell them that we're cutting your you ain't got nothing. Like we're not taking care of you. Like we can't help you. And hearing them cry and ask for assistance and not be able to assist, and me taking the chance and assisting them even though they told me not to and getting in trouble for it.
Right.
That's just I have to. I can't do it no more, y'all. I think I'm at my wits' end. I really am.
Dead
I really
ass.
am.
Yeah. Hey, David, roll that clip for me, please, that I sent you to play. Rebecca, I love you.
Yeah. With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe in this love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love, sweet love. Don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way.
Y'all drop them lines in the chat.
Oh my God.
So I said this to Rebecca. I said, Rebecca, you need to do this. And that was last week, I think. And so I went on Instagram late last night and I finally saw, I'm like, oh.
I did it for you.
I saw that. I'm like, I did this. I'm like, oh, she did that. She did that. She did that for real.
I did it for you because I was like, you know what? And I did this during my break at work. I was like, you know what can I do to like lift my spirits right now? Because I just felt like I'm just off. I was off kilter yesterday. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let me go do this little challenge that Bubba wanted me to do. And y'all know I love Anita. So I did it, and well, thank you so much. Look, and I'm not even on Twitter for real. I don't know how people found it, but they went on my Twitter. I mean, not my Twitter, my TikTok. I'm not on the Dixon Talks. I just go there to go find restaurants, and that is it.
And that's it.
But people like went and liked the video. I'm like, who sent these people here? But thank you so much. I had fun with this. I know the words verbatim, and I know.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I just made a different
Wonderful.
arrangement because I'm like, I can't hit all the keys, but I'm gonna hit some of them.
And you did damn good. Now that's the one you need to make sure you put on your Twitter and tag Anita again. Let's get us some more love for you. Okay.
Tag Anita. I did tag Anita. It's on my Twitter. So everybody who follows my Twitter at Rebecca is my first name, last name. Go now and go tag Anita Baker underneath it, because y'all know how she does. Now that was a free show. I didn't know what was gonna put it up there. I'm kind of embarrassed because I love singing, but like that kind of embarrassed me.
David said, does Rebecca know you playing this? Nope. I'm gonna get her today. I'm like, because you sounded good. I'm like, it's on her Instagram page, though, like on the first page, so she okay. Just play it.
Oh, thank you. I really
you
appreciate
sounded great.
I did it for you because I'm like, Ben told me to do this. Let me go ahead and let me do something to lift my spirits up. And singing always lifts my spirits up. And I hope that lifted y'all spirits up. But it's true. So we're probably not. It is 10:22.
Right.
It is 10:22. We have some and 22 is my angel number. That's so funny.
Yes,
but
indeed.
Yeah, it is. But I think in the same time, I think we could just kick it right now. Look, Daddy is not here.
Daddy is
not here. Okay, so
Daddy's gone. Oh wait, that's American Dad. I'm sorry.
Look, for everybody who liked the video, posted by DJ X3C and sung by Becca's Boys. Y'all know what to do.
Okay.
And look, lunch is at 12. What's up?
Lunch is at 12, and Bubba has to drive back to Atlanta. So
Tip your DJ, tip your host. You guys, without you guys, we won't even be able to do a lot of things that we have done. Because of you guys, I was able to pay for my doctor's note, y'all. Like, y'all assisted me. Of course, I paid half of it, but you guys, when I told you guys to assist, you guys definitely did that. For Bubba, we got him a new MacBook, y'all, and y'all know it ain't cheap. So that means that you guys did what y'all had to do, and I really, really, really appreciate that. And like I'm saying, the more that you guys assist, the more that you guys give, the closer we will be to getting the out of corporate and right here with you guys every single day. Imagine me being on time. Every single day. Imagine us actually being on air a little bit longer, giving you guys a little bit more of us every single day. You know, your support is what makes us do what we can, what we need to do. Me being healthy means I can be here with you guys. Bubba having his equipment means that he can be here with you guys playing his music, because you know that's what we need all the time on these breaks. That's what we need all the time when we feeling like, hey, it's a lot of drama happening on screen right now. Let's go have a family meeting real quick. That's Bubba, right? That's Bubba to get us right. So,
okay, like, hey, wait a minute now.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I be.
So definitely, you guys, your support definitely means enough to us. Again, you can support today at Cash App, because Daddy ain't here, so we can say whatever we want to say. Cash App Becca's Voice and Cash App DJ X3C. Become a patron right now. So patreon.com/like it or not. That's a members exclusive. And again, we love you with the work that we do, and everything that you do to support us means a lot. Trust me, everything that you do, everything that you give, it's not unseen. Every word that you say, all the love that you give, it's not unseen. It's not unfelt. It matters, and it's everything. So,
somebody stupid. Somebody said Daddy went out for a pack of smokes and some milk.
and look, and we over here looking for all the bad channels on TV.
Okay, they're like trying to go through HBO to see if we can get the little squiggly lines
to get clear for a second. You did that too.
Child, on the big box TV,
with the big booty in the back,
and the knobs, had everything sitting on top of that TV. I'm like, hey, Mama, that TV still work?
That is crazy. Like, Mama, how the dust that's in the back that we can't even get out the crevice. They don't come out the crevices of the TV.
And then not to mention the old stereo set where they got different components to it. You got the receiver here, the little record player. There was like another the tape
And
deck,
then you hold down the two buttons to record. You had to pause to record, and you had to hold. Now, mind you, I had to record tapes all the time and send them over to Haiti because that was our communication system before WhatsApp and cell phones used to do that thing. We used to have to put the little tape in there, record, and say, "Hi, Tati, c'est Rebecca. I'm content de voir." It was literally our way. I can't believe we did that. Look, kids these days will never know none of this. Haitian kids will never know sending tapes to Haiti and them sending it back, and it takes like a whole 2 weeks to even reply to them through sending some damn tapes, recorded tapes, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. Culture. What you got for us? David? You said you wanted to drop a few things before we get out of here.
Yeah, David. Let's see.
I trust most of my colleagues have heard of Hot Girl Summer and the broader Megan Thee Stallion oeuvre. Well, I rise today to declare the start of Hot FERC Summer, with FERC, of course, being the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. Why, you might ask? Well, to paraphrase Ms. Stallion, because now that FERC has put in all that work, it's time for them to be the MVP.
Listen,
I trust most of my colleagues
Hot
have heard
FERC
of
Summer.
Hot Girl Summer.
First of all, FERC is not a good word. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. But I understand the federal, the federal energy. They want to save. They want to make sure they get us together with that. I get it. I understand it, and I love that he knows the reference to Meg Thee Stallion. What's that?
He made a whole ass album cover. Do you see this?
I see it, and look, and took out the hot girl.
Summer. And then put featuring his name at the bottom. You see it? Featuring Sean.
Featuring, I can't even see. Child, it's a fool. I love that he knows it. I love that he knows it, but at the same time, it's like, those people that will use the things that Sean Caston. The things that people will do. It'd be the other folks who use it, and it's almost like saying to me, "What's up, girl?" And I'm like, "Sis, it ain't working." "Oh, girl, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give." It's almost like that. Like, sir, I get it, but you could have. The message would have been clear, even though the message would have been clear. But I mean, at least he knows Meg Thee Stallion. And then again, I'm not saying that Meg Thee Stallion belongs to one culture. Meg Thee Stallion belongs to one age group. Meg Thee Stallion belongs to one political group. I'm not saying that. But this was not giving me what it was supposed to give. It was just like, sir, come on now. No, Hot FERC Summer, y'all.
It's the Federal Energy Regulatory Committee.
It's one of those commercials where they use they use the Ice-T song or the MC Hammer songs for their commercial for a bag of chips or something.
The Cheetos, you can't touch this.
Yeah, like stuff like that. With I cannot
at all.
Yeah. What are we waiting for? You can wait for it.
Bitch!
Take hope, my people. Take hope, for it is not lost. Not nearly.
He did a song. I heard a sound.
But I'm going to have to remove some generals to do it. Generals, yes. Okay. I'm going to remove them just because stars are upon their shoulders.
Is that the Hanukkah thing?
Ain't it I forgot what it's called.
The candle. And I'm no disrespect to anybody that knows the candle name.
But when they set themselves to undermine my nation,
Menorah. That's right. That's not it, David. Okay.
Then they've gone as far as they will go.
David said, "I think it's golf candles."
That's Billy Ray Jesus, honey.
There's Billy Ray Jesus, honey. He done made a song.
You will hear a sound rising through the rain.
You will hear a sound.
All my leaders will come. You're about to see.
He said you hear a sound.
You said you hear sound.
You say
rising through the face.
Hallelujah. Hey.
All right. praise Jesus.
Bubba, do you see what? And that's where the Lord. Look, Bubba, this is where the Lord is in the house. Do you feel that, Bubba? I feel the Lord. God. I feel God today, Bubba. See, this is why
I feel him today. Look at that, Rebecca. Look at the chick.
Hold your hands up. Keep on moving forward.
Hallelujah. Get this out of here.
Keep on moving forward.
Get it off of the screen now. Listen. There, look, it was she was possessed. Okay, it wasn't giving what that wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. But Billy Ray Jesus made a song about the sound.
Oh man,
he made a song about the sound. Clearly, he can't hear because that was terrible. That was terrible.
We definitely got to run that when Ben come back again. Because what dog said, I heard sound.
He said, I hear
from the floor.
Why was she doing TikTok with her head?
Keep on moving forward. And he looked like Davis. He looked like he was in so much pain. He was playing the damn thing.
He took the guitar from that man that he had last time and said, listen, you ain't doing what needs to be done. Okay?
It's like, it's not working, bro. Just hold it. Don't do nothing. Just sit there. Okay.
But he wasn't doing that. Is so crazy that people will be out. Look, there was nothing. Why are these people leading the flock? It's
Why
a joke.
are these people leading the
and
flock?
That's a wig on his head. And that nobody can tell me that ain't no wig. Because why is the hairline right here? The hairline is literally on the forehead. Get ahem. Look, that's what Haitians do when you're coughing. We have to go ahem. Like that's gonna help you. No, we do it for you. And it makes because we do it for you, and then it makes you do it, and we do it for babies too. So when babies cough, we're like, ahem, so they copy you so they can get it out.
Oh, it worked.
Isn't that so weird? That's crazy. But we do it for
like, wait a minute.
too. Yeah. It's just weird. It's just weird Haitian stuff that this happens. Anyway, I love you guys.
Love y'all.
Thank you for rocking with me. You guys literally went over to Twitter and did your thing. So head over to Twitter once again, Rebecca Azor on Twitter. That's my first name, last name. I'm on Twitter, and tag Anita Bank under the post because it'll be. I hate seeing myself.
With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my arms. Hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe in this love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love, sweet love. Don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way.
It makes me blush. It's crazy. But anywho, you guys, thank you guys for supporting, for doing all that you guys do. Definitely head over and follow us on Twitter at Rebecca Azor. And if you want to support, if you want to hear me sing some more, I might just do it. The Cash App is right here. Tip your host at Becca's Voice. That's BECCASVOICE. And tip your DJ at DJX3C. Tip your host, tip your DJ. We'll be right back here tomorrow at the same time. That's the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour, and we'll be giving you the after party show. Hopefully Daddy's not home again so we can have a good old time.
Right.
But we'll be giving you guys the after party as well tomorrow right here on Like It or Not. Take care of your mental health. Take care of you. And I love you guys. Mean it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bubba, take it away.
Love y'all. Love your sister. See you tomorrow. All right, y'all. I'm going to give y'all a little bit, and it's time for Bubba to get on the road. So, man, thank y'all so much again for tuning in and rocking with us. The Benjamin Dixon Show, Georgia Ford, on the clock with Georgia Ford, and Like It or Not with Rebecca Azor, my sister from another mister, man. We hope y'all had a great time like we did. It was great being back, and I missed everyone. And I'll be back on in the morning. Give y'all a few seconds, but until then, holla. See y'all in the morning, y'all. Deuces. Shout out to Chuck Diesel dancing with the lamp. I mean, as long as you're not breaking nothing, he ain't broke nothing in a minute, so it's cool.